Hello, and it's another warm welcome from the studios of BRCK in Lefkosha, and another warm welcome from Jangazi and a cup of conversation. Now, I have three very warm people here in the studio. Two I've met just today, just very recently, and one is an old friend. She's been on the programme, well, one time before, many, many years ago, and she is the lovely Viola Edwards. Now, Viola is a master mentor and connector, and psychotherapist and breathwork pioneer with over 25 years of experience. A leader with individual and corporate clients, Viola specialises in professional training in breathwork, mentoring, stress management, feminine energy and relationships. And she's here today with two of her wonderful trainees, people who will learn from her experience. And so it's an honour to have Viola back in the BRTK studios. First of all, welcome back, Viola. It's great to see you again here.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
You are such a positive person, great energy. You are doing the job that is just right for you.
Thank you.
That's why you are so successful, I think.
I think so. I think when we find what's our gift and talent and qualities in life, and we manage to combine them together through certain exercises, and then we can give that gift back to life. So we are working with purpose, which is wonderful. When you have a business with purpose, is one of the best things in life for me.
Definitely, I agree with you as well. And if you enjoy your life, if you enjoy your job, then you live happy and healthily.
Exactly, exactly. Because anyway, we are productive people. We cannot be just doing nothing. We always will impact the planet and will impact the community with whatever we do or we don't do. So let's do, but let's do with purpose, with pleasure, with joy, and with you know, accompanying each other to fulfill our purpose in life.
We have a lot to talk about, and before we do start the topic of the conversation, let's find out more about you. Now, you have a great accent, multicultural background.
Yes.
Originally, where were you born?
I was born in Kirkuk, Iraq, from an Syriani father and Lebanese Maronite mother.
And then, unfortunately, when your father passed away when you were 3, you went to Lebanon.
Yes, my mom moved back to her family, so we learned another language because we were born in the Syriani family, and our first language was, we talk Syriani, so we moved when I was 5 and my sister was 1 to Lebanon. And then we learned Arabic, and we lived there for 8 years.
And then from Lebanon to?
Venezuela, to Caracas, Venezuela, to beautiful South America. And we emigrated when I was 13, and Layla, my sister, was 9.
Amazing.
And then another language, another family, another setting, you know, the world changed ups and down.
You've been around the world. I think you were saying, born in one country, raised in another country, educated in another country.
And then people tell me, but why you are in Cyprus? Then I fall in love when I was 40. I met him in Spain. Michael used to live in south of France. And then we had this relationship for some years. He was in France, I was in Venezuela. And when relationship settled and we decided to live together, to marry, where to live? And he said, you know, I told you I was born in Cyprus, and part of my heart is in Cyprus. I have a house that I bought in Cyprus in 1973, thinking that one day I will come back there, I will go back there. Yeah. And I said, let's try Cyprus then. And then here I am, married with a man, British man, but born in Cyprus, who he feels part of his identity is Cypriot.
What a wonderful story, Viola. Yes. I mean, it's a lovely, lovely story. And here you are now. You're living in Çatalca, aren't you? That's where you're based.
Yes, we live in Çatalca, yeah.
Although I follow you on Facebook. I get tired following you on Facebook because you are everywhere and traveling around the world with your job, with your work. You're doing very, very good work. And I've also interviewed your lovely husband, Michael de Granville. And Michael is involved in a lot of, he does massage work, meditation.
Yeah, Michael as formation, he's engineer, he's a mine engineer, and he was one of the pioneers of hang gliding. And then he went into the world of breathwork and bodywork, and this is the time where I met him. I met Michael in 1999 in a breathwork, in the International Breathwork Foundation, because he had a center in south of France, and I had a center in Caracas. What about that? And we end here creating Kayana International, and this is our company here. And from here, together we do this beautiful work for the world now, and we invite beautiful people like my guest today to come and be with us in Cyprus.
Yes, you surprised me. When Viola came to BRCK, we were going to meet in reception. She wrote on the messenger, "I'm here," and I also have two guests, two interns or two trainees.
Yes.
So I'm very honoured that you have brought in two of your friends here today.
Yes, thank you.
We have
Actually,
Jess.
actually, it was very spontaneous. I
Yeah.
was coming and I said, wouldn't that be great to talk about how you come to Cyprus and do this work here?
Yeah.
Do you want to come with me? And they say yes. And then, I text you from the way. It was very spontaneous, as I do many of my things.
And here you are now, guys. Jess and Amin, welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
Let's start with you, Jess. You're from Bristol in the UK, aren't you?
Yes, yes.
Tell us a bit about yourself, your background, please.
Okay, so I was originally a plumber, and I've been living in Bristol now for the past 4 years. And since 2012, I hit a bit of a, let's say, an interesting patch in my life, and I started to meditate. And from there, I learnt more about yoga, and I'm now a yoga teacher many years on, and I'm now training in breathwork with Viola and Michael and Leila here in Cyprus. So yeah, that's me.
Nice, amazing. I mean, there you were, a plumber. Could you ever imagine that you'd be in Cyprus learning about breathwork, breath therapy, all those years ago? I mean, a very different path in your life.
Things have definitely taken a different turn,
Yeah.
and I've got to say that's from the need to spend some time working on some wounds I had, some things which were not good in my life.
I have to say, and I'm sure that Viola knows this about me as well, or she's heard about it, but I'm not very spiritual. And I can't do meditation. I'm not very much into yoga. I've had people who teach yoga on my program, and they've tried to get me involved, but I've never got involved. But you have, obviously, you have enjoyed your time learning yoga. You now teach yoga. What is it about? How did you get involved with breath work?
I'm gonna answer that
Yeah.
before Jess. I think you're a very spiritual person, Jan.
Yeah.
I think spirituality doesn't get defined because we do yoga or meditation.
Yeah.
Spirituality is about assuming what's the meaning of our life and how we help others and how we have certain set of value and we model them. And I've been following you for years, and you're one of these person. I would say you're a very holistic person, very spiritual person, because we could have people who's doing meditation and yoga as a technicality of practice, but not necessarily generous, communicative, relational. And you have many of these spiritual qualities. So I wanted to never again said that you're not spiritual.
Thank
If
you very
anybody
much.
told you that, you said Viola told me the opposite.
Okay, thank you for that, Viola. But yes, going back to Jess, so tell us a bit about, your spiritual journey and how it brought you to Viola. I mean, how did you, in Bristol, find yourself here in Psychotherapy, North Cyprus?
Okay, well, in my own journey, I've been studying to be an integrative counsellor, and one of my teachers in yoga, Chris Gladwell in Bristol, he ran a workshop. He's trained with Viola and Michael, and I attended a workshop, and through trying to weave together both the breath, both yoga, and in the future my counselling into whatever method a person needs to express themselves and to feel okay with whatever it is which may not make them feel okay. And yeah, now here I am. I don't quite know how I got here myself, John, but it's
So
good.
me and Michael, we ran a workshop in Bristol that was organized by Christopher Gladwell. And one of the participants was Jess. We had like 20-some people.
Yeah.
And it was magnificent because they were all coming from psychotherapy, and we had one psychiatrist, doctor, and we have many of yoga practitioners.
Yeah.
And then Jess just fall in love with the methodology and said, I want to be trained. And then we arranged for him, and he came one visit, and this is his second visit. Now in this visit, he's finishing his first level, which is 200 hours of training.
Fantastic. So you're back in Cyprus, your second visit here.
Yes.
So I assume you're enjoying your time here.
Yes, very much so, very much so. I'm enjoying the weather compared to English weather as well. As you know, it's,
Yeah. Although we've had a very bad winter. You know, this is just the good weather at the moment. It's been a terrible winter here.
What is for us a bad winter is not for you.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you are enjoying yourself.
Yes.
We'll find out more about what you're doing, but let's also say hello to Amin. Welcome to the program, Amin.
Thank you. Hello.
And where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Lebanon. I raised in Lebanon. I graduated from one of the universities in Lebanon as a computer science and in mathematics.
Right.
And also, I have an MBA, business administration. Basically, I was working half of my life in the Gulf area, like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. And I met Viola through LinkedIn. She's very active on social media, you know.
Yes.
And we started communicating just to know about this breathwork program. And we came out with many ideas how we can integrate this breathwork into the business, because I'm a business consultant right now. So we are trying to get awareness for people, how they can use this in their business, how they can use it in their decision making, and how they can make it as a training program inside their organizations. So this is what we are working now, me and Viola, on that. And I was very excited to come and start the program with her. And now I'm about to finish the 200 hours for myself.
Yeah.
And it's like an experience that I have never had in my life before. When you breathe, so as if you are breathing a new life. That's what I can say.
What a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
So back to you, Viola. I have no idea about breathwork or your mentoring or what you're doing. So very quickly, because this is a short interview, it's only half an hour, what are the guys doing? You're talking about hours and levels, and they have to obviously work with you guys. What's going on here when you are with your trainees? What's happening?
Yeah. So first of all, we need to clarify that it's a methodology, a technique that we call conscious connected breathing. And I have a slogan that said, when you learn how to breathe consciously and think consciously, you will live more consciously. As you know, well-being is about being aligned between what we want, what we desire, what we dream, what we say, what we talk, how we model our life. And this function comes when there is this discordancy between what I want and what I do, what I say, but what I feel. And through the mentoring work is how to be able to align all my parts together. Sometimes it's not that easy, because a lot of people will tell me, but I'm in a job that I don't like. What we will work is about what's the angle of that job that you like? What can you put from yourself in that job to make it more likable while you can move to another one? Some people tell me, but I'm managing a business that my father created. It's not what I want. So we work with them to how lucky you are to be in a business that somebody else create for you. How lucky you are that you're not in the workforce, that you have to go and find a job. So let's see, beside that job that you don't like so much, what else can you do that you can breathe different type of air, yeah? So what we are looking is like every individual find the rhythm that belong to them, independently where we are and how we are, and how some of us, we had to leave countries and be in another countries because of difficult situation. What is the best of our situation? Because look, wherever we can breathe means that we are alive. And if we are alive, we have possibilities to transform, to expand, to change, and to help others. So my job is about that. It's about hope. It's about expansion through a methodology and a technique that is built from your own breath. So we call it conscious connected breathing. It's part of the wide, expansive word of the breath work, because there is different methodology, and is how to learn this technique to be able to balance the self, to be able to also to work in the negative thought that put us in the area that we're not good enough, this is not good enough. How to transform the quality of the thought? Therefore, breathing better is living better, is thinking better, is acting better toward a purpose. This is what we're working with.
You make it sound so easy, just breathing better, but obviously there are techniques that we should all learn. Every one of us should learn to breathe better as you connect with one another.
Yes, what I mean by breathing better is because as we grow up, when we were kids, we had certain impacts that we couldn't understand. If you go to my own story, when my dad died and I was 3 years old, a child at that age doesn't understand what is death. For me, what I could understand is I have no father coming back home every day as I was used to. That had an impact in me, that altered the way how I breathe, that altered the way how I sleep, that altered my perception of the world, and make an impact with me. As I grow up, as you know, in my own story, we have had many more loss. I had piled up a lot of things that accumulate over that first loss, So it come a time to be able to deal with my life. Like many of us, I went into the world of addiction. I was a chain smoker, and all that affected my breathing. Every change, every exposure to stress, it will affect my breathing, plus what the cigarette did with me. So, of course, I was living, and of course, I was working, and I was relating, but limited as it was my breathing. So when we learn how to, through certain technique, how to expand the breath, how to be aware when we hold the breath and expand it, our brain gets different way of oxygenation, and we don't have only one way to see the thing. We have a possibility of way. Even when we have a trauma or we have a problem and it seems like this, when you expand the breathing, you have to imagine that it become like this. And we have many choices. Of course, each one of us, it depends where you catch your life back. Sometimes psychological and issues and problem issues is like cancer of the soul, isn't it?
Yes.
Sometimes you catch it at the beginning, sometimes you catch it in the middle, sometimes you catch it quite in the degenerative state. It doesn't matter when. There is always a way how we can integrate what happened to us in life and heal as much as possible. This is what it's all this about.
Very interesting, very, very interesting words from Viola. Coming back to the guys here now who are with you, who are learning. Jess, can I ask you, so whilst you are here and you're doing your hours, what's actually happening? What are you hoping to gain from the hours that you're putting in here in North Cyprus?
Well, what I'm hoping to gain from being here is to learn from Viola, Michael and Leila the different methodologies around breathwork. So when I'm with a client and a client has an issue, we have different maps, different tools. So we can then use these different frameworks to help the client as they then explore their own process through their breath. So it's not as if we're doing it for them, but we're creating a container with knowledge and supervision from skilled people where we can then allow the person to find their own solutions, find their own energy, their own ideas.
So you are hoping then to transfer this back to the UK, back in Bristol, to your own clients and to help them with their issues. Do you think, is it a big thing now in the world? I mean, a lot of us are turning to spirituality, aren't we, to find the problems. I mean, we are learning now that really we shouldn't blame other people. We can change our own lives by meditation, yoga, breath work. Are you finding a lot of people are now turning to people like you to mentor them, to help them?
Yes, yes, and people being able to take responsibility for themselves instead of blaming the outside world. And there is a balance. Yes, things do happen to us, but then we have a choice, we have an ability to take responsibility for our reaction and then where we choose to go in life. And it's like Viola put very well, you're spiritual, we're spiritual, everybody is spiritual.
Yeah.
But spiritual doesn't have to be some lofty practice where people disconnect from the world. Spiritual can be doing the dishes. If you're there with purpose, you're doing the dishes for your family because you want them to have clean plates so they can eat.
Yeah.
That's purpose, that's meaning. So these tools we have on offer nowadays, like breathwork, like yoga, are incredible. And they can allow people to be in their life fully with enjoyment.
We are looking for the answer, aren't we? We are looking for contentment,
Yes.
happiness, health.
Yes.
And maybe it's within ourselves, and it's not far away, is it really?
Yeah, I want to say also that mental health is no more a taboo. Huh? It has been on the top of everything. I was in January, I went to Davos, to the World Economic Forum. And one of the subjects that was brought up many times, it's about mental health and what does it mean. We have corporate calling us asking us which program we can do to improve the mental health of our employees. So mental health doesn't mean that people are suffering from mental dysfunction. It's about how to go to a well-being how to be healthy mentally, how to be healthy emotionally. So I'm so grateful to all the people who had worked so hard, like myself, to bring that out into the surface, and is not a taboo anymore. And we can work it clearly, because a lot of the people who go into addiction, it's because they are so ashamed of certain things that happen to them.
Yeah.
And part of our work is to get out of shame if we are going into any post-traumatic stress disorder or any drama from the past that is affecting us, or any situation that in the present moment could affect us. The world have changed, and my message is, yes, you're not alone. Please ask for support. I'm sure nearby you there's somebody who can support you. If not, ask a friend, as it happened a lot with me here in Cyprus. It's so beautiful that I received a call and said, I have a friend who maybe will need your support. So please do that, and don't leave your pain in loneliness. Is no need anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a shameful thing that you have a pain, or you have a relation that is not working well, or you have anything, any complexity that you're dealing with.
Yeah. And I think, for instance, in America, Americans, they have their life coaches, they go to psychotherapists. They're much more aware of that for many, many years. Now I think places like Cyprus, where we have more psychologists here, or people to help, we are now saying to ourselves, yes, if we have a problem mentally, it's not a shameful thing. We can seek help. And you are one of the people that we can turn to and help.
Actually, if you allow me, I have to give a public thanks to Dr. Ebru Chakiji, that for many years now, she brought one of the first psychotherapy master's degree, master study to the island. And really, it has made a huge change. It's such a pleasure now when I go around and I see Psychotherapy Merkezi in different places.
Yeah, then
Thank you so much, Dr. Ebru, for this work that you have done. And now many of your students and many of your, they are doing such a beautiful work.
Excellent. It's good to see that. It's good. We all need help.
Wonderful. And it was beautiful for me to be part of one of those groups. And because I remember when I moved here, I used to suffer loneliness in that sense. And it was beautiful to be part of one of those groups, yes.
We're going in the right direction, I think,
yes,
we
Definitely.
are. I mean, as well, I want to ask you, you're talking about your degree, and you have a very sort of scientific or mathematical business degree.
Exactly.
Whereas, Jess I can see from Jess that he's a very spiritual guy with what he's doing with the yoga and everything, but your background is different. So what are you expecting? I know that you want to help. You have a more business side to this.
Yes, exactly.
Helping people in the workplace. What are you hoping to achieve from this course?
As you know, right now, everybody is moving to the coaching and the mentoring aspects in any organization. Any organization needs these techniques or these methodologies in order to apply it in the organization. To have a very healthy organization, you need to have a healthy human capital, we call it. Human capital, in order to have it very healthy and synchronizing all the aspects, all the tasks, everything that's going on in a company or in an organization, you need to teach those people how they can synchronize together, how they can work together, how they can work as a teamwork together, and how can they achieve together. This all needs like training, this all needs like motivation, this needs like coaching, etc. However, when we are talking about breath work, we are targeting the right thing to give to those people and the right like medicine to give to those people. Because by breath work, you can teach them how they can breathe even when they want to take a decision, how they can reveal what they have of ideas, of creative things to do, and how they can coordinate all together as not only one team, as one soul, which is breathing together, all together. So we are tend here to make the organization take one breath together through the team that's working together in order to achieve the same goal together.
And be more sustainable, because there is a lot of waste of energy in a company, because people are, when there is rework in a company, this is waste of energy and capital. When the people come late, when people are ill, and all that is a reaction of uncomfort and unhappiness that maybe is in the individual, but it manifests in the team. Also, in many companies, we find out that people spend a long time not talking to each other properly. We are dealing in the whole world about a big problem, which is bullying and so mobbing. So the idea is how to work in that environment in the language of the corporate or small business or medium business, in their own language, how to be able to breathe better and live better. Therefore, be more sustainable and minimize the waste, because this is what is affecting at the end of the day, the individual, the family, the society, the planet, the waste.
I am listening to you and I agree with everything that you guys are saying, and it means a lot to me because I work in a big company here. As you know, BRTK is a very big company, and there are problems. You know, when lots of people, lots of different voices, lots of different opinions, people who don't get on with each other every now and then, a lot of work stress. So maybe I think you should be invited one day to come and give
it will be my pleasure.
Course to us here at BRT.
It will be my pleasure. Organize it and we'll come.
Okay, Viola, that's a promise for later on. Very quickly before we end the interview, because we have something to say, Viola is a multi-award winning lady, and on the 12th of July last year, the Academy of Universal Global Peace, under the affiliation of United Nations, honoured her with a doctorate honoris causa for her humanitarian work and leadership. And that's just one of the awards you've been given. You are on the cover of magazines, you are into fashion, you are an author of books, including Who Makes the Bed, and that's a very interesting story. People can find you online. I know that you are a big presence on social media like Facebook, that's where we are friends. But before we give out your details, on, is it the 11th of April? Tell us about an event in April, what's coming up?
In the 11th of, in the 11th of April, we are declaring, it has been declared, and we are working toward the United Nations about that, to International Day of Breathing, of Conscious Breathing. So on the 11th of April, we will be doing activities in the whole world at the same time toward what is this conscious breathing. And here in Lefkosha, we will be doing an event at Rustem, and also we will be doing at the same time another event in Limassol. So all Cyprus and hopefully in Larnaca.
Yeah.
So hopefully in all Cyprus we will have a rhythm with a same song, acknowledging and honoring and supporting people to go into more conscious, connected breathing.
Right, and when you say Rustem, that's the bookshop in Lefkosha?
Yes, that bookshop, sorry, bookshop.
So that'll be on the 11th of April.
Yes.
Can anyone come and join?
Anyone can come and join, and we will pass you more information about that.
Please do so.
I think we will be starting around 4, and it will be extend a little bit, maybe from 4 to 8.
Right, so if anyone out there would like to find out more about what Viola does, about what's going on in her neck of the woods in Chazalco, and about networking, mentoring, breathing techniques. There's so much to learn. I mean, this half-hour program doesn't do justice to what these guys are doing. To find out more, how can we find you? Do we have a website?
We have a website for now, is violaedward.com, and we will have another one called Kayana, which is the name of our business, kayana.com, and in social media we will find me by my name, being in Facebook or in Instagram. I'm the Viola Edward.
The Viola, not the Viola Edward, the one and only
Because
Viola.
I didn't like that official thing, Viola Edward official, so I changed it to the Viola Edward.
And I like the way that you wrote in your biography here that your father, your late father, named you Viola because he was a musician and you are his Viola.
Yes.
A beautiful name for a beautiful woman. And I want to say thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
And guys, thank you for joining us on this program.
Thank you.
It's an honor to meet you, and I hope that you have a good experience whilst you are here. I'm sure that the
Kayana
family-
team make the best.
Yeah. The team will be looking after you very well in Chotaka. You're in a very good part of the island, very beautiful place. So I'm sure you'll be inspired to do your work that you are doing here. But thank you for coming to us, and have a safe journey back to your respective countries when you leave.
Excellent.
And thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. Thank you for this beautiful program.
You're more than welcome, Viola. Thank you for bringing your guests in today as well. Good luck with all your trainee work, with your awards, with flying around the country. I'll be following you even more now on
Yes.
social media.
Yeah.
But thank you for taking the time out today of your busy schedule to come to BRT, and hopefully see you again soon.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And with that, we have come to the end of my very interesting chat with Viola Edward and with Jess and with Amin. And to find out more, just log on to their pages and just really follow us here at BRTK. We introduce you to many, many interesting people, so keep locked to BRT TV. Until next week, we meet again. Take care and take a deep breath, relax, and bye-bye.
Yes.